No, now we're on. That looks like
Good
shit.
evening, guys, and welcome to the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Cigar, 2420 Government Street. We're smoking one crooked cigar and two straight ones.
Yeah, look at that.
So
That is the cafe.
it's cold in Mississippi. You don't get to say that too often.
Cold breath.
17 degrees this morning.
18 degrees when I went to work this morning.
18 degrees, Bones says.
You know
I'm
it's
here with
cold.
Mort, Bones, and myself, Maverick. Welcome you to another show. 109. That looks like something out of the Three Stooges. I swear to God, that cigar. It really does.
Jose, I will ask him right now. Jose, last week.
Yeah.
He's the captain that used to work with me.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know who he spoke to. He talked to you or Keith or Justin or somebody, but he was on one of the pages. They showed the Cafe San Andreas, the good one,
Yeah.
the good one. And he said, "Oh, those look really good. I want to get some." I said, "Well, I'm not sure if I have any at home, but we got some at the shop. You know, call the shop and talk to Justin." He said he called the shop, and whoever he spoke to never called him back.
Wasn't me. I always call back. I don't know who it was. Probably Justin.
I'll take care. I'll hook you up. Negative 20.
Caitlin, how's that feeling?
It looked like negative 20. I bet it's not too much warmer in South Dakota.
No.
God, negative. You know, and
Tommy, how you doing?
That's
Caitlin,
that's
good
the
evening.
conversation we had
Jose,
and why we're here.
Kevin, what's happening?
You know, we just said that one day we came home from work in January. Brenda's getting ready to go to basic training. Caitlin's going to school. She lived with a boyfriend, and we were just like, "It's cold today." She goes, "Yeah, it's negative 20." I said, "Well, why the hell are we here? Why are we staying? Brenda's leaving. Caitlin wants to stay here to go to school. Let's go."
I'm down.
Oh.
Even
And I
at
put
a-
it for this, and
As
we
it,
got it.
before it came out of your mouth, I'd say the bag's packed.
Oh, dude,
I can't do it. I can't deal with it.
No.
We talk about it a lot in here at the shop, and you know we have
Welcome,
1 or 2
Ray,
days
Josh.
of cold, and we act like it's the end of the world.
It
isn't.
is.
I guess it is.
Yeah, it is.
Look at the hats we're wearing.
Yeah,
I got
we're in
I got a
stocking caps.
military skull
Yeah,
cap
one of
on.
ours.
Jeff got a wool hat on. Barry has his Boston Scally, and Caitlin. We're not all wearing the same hats tonight.
No,
Miserable.
no. I got a sweater. on.
Caitlin, we'll do something
Not-
about it. Come.
Not here, man. Not here. It's not
20, you
miserable.
know, if it was 20 degrees, it would be better than 20 below.
Dude, you know, every time when we were up
And
there,
I heard she fell a couple times, right?
No,
Somebody told me somebody fell. Who was it?
it wasn't Caitlin.
Somebody told me. Somebody was telling me today their daughter fell a couple times. I don't know who it was. Clayton. His daughter fell 3 times walking to her car.
On what?
The ice.
Snow snake.
Where? Oh, she's up in Mississippi. She's up in-
Yeah. She's up where
She's
it
up
was ice and
Mississippi State.
snow.
Yeah, she's 6 hours. Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm going to get yelled at by Caitlin because I'm looking at my phone. I should have had YouTube up already.
Miserable.
It's crazy. So what?
All right, I got a story.
Oh, here we go.
Mort has a story.
I'm gonna read it. This came to me from my son. You heard it already.
Yes.
You ever read that for him?
All right. So my son had an introduction meeting with their new VP of infrastructure.
This is a true story.
Yes.
Okay.
He used to be the top guy at Best Buy. One of Patrick's coworkers asked him, "What was a lesson learned during your data breach in 2017?" The new VP said, "We didn't have a data breach." The coworker posted the article during the meeting.
Oh, he's gone.
You mean you didn't have one? Well, what is this? He said, he caveated the end of that one saying, "Pretty sure my coworker is writing a book called How to Piss Off Your Bosses and Put a Target on Your Back." So a little bit more to the story. His manager, their director, and their managing director of the firm or the company were all present. So he says the only way this gets overlooked is if they don't see it or if they didn't see it.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
not
I'm
curved,
thinking-
Caitlin. It's crooked.
You know what?
It's
We
made
say
like
some
that.
things to bosses that may be,
Stupid?
stupid. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
No, you
but
don't.
But how did he go that far?
He took it all the way. I
He took it all the way.
What do you
He
mean
took
there
it
was
all
no
the way.
data breach? Oh, here.
That was
Look.
planned, dude. He had that already set up, ready to go.
Yeah, I know, but how do you do that and expect to have a job in it?
He probably wanted to get fired.
Probably.
I
don't
tell
know.
people this all the time. Be careful of the ass that you kick today.
You might have to kiss
It may
tomorrow.
be the ass that you have to kiss tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. Be careful. Just be careful.
That's why I haven't kicked. That's why I haven't kicked the wife's ass yet. I might have to kiss it tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna kiss it anyway.
I'll tell you what, all the jobs I had, and there's been a few.
As many as Tim.
No, nobody. Kimmy Katz is the only one who had more jobs than Tim. But I don't recall. I mean, I remember getting the bosses made a couple of times, but I never ever tried to embarrass a boss and or disrespected him in front of other people.
Dude, I think that was pretty embarrassing.
Dude, he's humiliating.
If you stop and think about something like that, and you, I mean, in jest even, it's pretty brutal in that environment where you've got three big bosses and your new boss.
Yeah.
So your new boss, his boss's boss, and his boss's boss all
Now
there.
know about it.
And they're like, so
They knew about that before they hired the
of
guy.
course they had to have. It was public knowledge.
Absolutely.
But no need to throw him on the cold.
That's something that you ask them later on. You're like, hey boss, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you guys had that data breach at Best Buy, how did you overcome that?
Yeah.
And well, let me tell you what we did. That's all.
He humiliated him.
You're kind of right, Kerr. Simple rule: don't kick ass, don't kiss ass.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, Kurt, if I didn't tell you.
sometimes you just have to, put a little lip balm on and kiss a little bum.
Yep.
Guys, I'm gonna let you know. I think Kerr might have smoked one of these. I know Mort has, Mav hasn't yet. But this Cafe 1901
Let me
Cobras.
see.
It comes three twisted cigars in a car, and this is the third one, the most twisted one of them all.
It's
Cool Brass. Right?
It's-
Cool Brass.
it suits him.
I think it's a fantastic smoke. I like
It is. It is. I didn't smoke one yet, but I can't believe how
But
that
they're
looks.
not-
Wonder why you'd make that like that.
We went to
There
this-
is a story.
We had this story.
All
on
right,
the
we're
show
going to
before.
tell the story why it's made like that.
Back in the day, the workers in the cigar factories were only allowed to take 3 cigars out of the factories at a time for a day. That's what they
Okay.
were given. So to get around that, they came up with this neat little idea of taking these 3 cigars and wrapping them around and taking 3 of these out. Not necessarily in the box, but 3 to wrap ones out.
So they were wrapped, so made it look smaller, so they can get 9
Was-
cigars instead of 3.
Pretty
How about
smart.
that? Makes smart. It makes perfect sense.
And
Sure.
I'm telling you, I told Kathy, I told Gabby, I texted him and said, dude, the flavor is just, I
The
think
box is cool.
I think it's phenomenal. But he said
Little
it's
coffee box is
proprietary
Proprietary.
fermentation process to his factory only.
Yeah.
I just
I-
put
and
that
it's
stuff
just-
right in my
I
eyes.
and he's got a lot of new stuff coming out. Some
I didn't
working on a Lancero.
catch too much of the fermentation. Not like the barrel age that you'd get from Perique. I didn't catch too much of that.
That's good stuff, man. That's good. That the smell of that stuff when we were there that
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Oh my god! When we went to the factory.
Watching the guy
Oh,
turn
Yeah.
it.
the old guy, and he's out there every freaking day, 7 days a week. He said he's out there.
Yeah, in that barn.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of barrels there. We couldn't even see how far that went.
It went a long ways.
Well, that's at the barn burner.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that ain't too far away, dude.
Well,
If they happen,
Jeff
8 months.
Borshowitz from FSG,
7
when
months.
he was on the show last week, it does look like a Domino's box.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said there's going to be one in Florida in November.
But not one in Mississippi.
Well, there never was one
Louisiana.
in Mississippi. It was always.
I mean, you know what I mean.
They don't know what you.
That's 7 months,
they don't know.
months and 10 days from now.
I bet for the way I understood the conversation was, whether Drew Estates has it or not, there's going to be one in Florida in November. Whether he throws it on or
is that the one we're going to?
I'd like to go.
Mort?
We should be able to travel by then.
Hopefully.
Well, we don't have to quarantine anymore after once you get your second shot. Well, or your first shot. If you get the Johnson & Johnson, you get the 1-shot vaccine or you get the 2-shot vaccine. 2 weeks after you get it, if you come in contact with somebody, figure this out. The CDC now says if you come in contact with somebody 2 weeks after you got your final COVID vaccine shot, you don't have to quarantine.
Okay.
But yet you can still get it and transmit it. So why? That doesn't make any sense.
And of course it does. None of this does.
None of it.
It hasn't in almost a year.
Right?
It's insane.
And now they're also saying kids should go back to school. They should go back to school with the proper precaution. Well, they could have done that
To begin with.
My nephew,
But they were unaware of a lot of stuff, so I can understand that.
Even when they became aware, smart as
Scared.
shit, he did not. He wanted to go to school. He even got in trouble one time for going on a day he wasn't supposed to be there because they broke it up on certain days and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the kid he ended up.
Hey, Christy.
Ended up with a 99.899 grade point average.
Well, I was lucky if I got something even close to that on one test.
I was
me too.
like Brendan. I just did what I got to do to pass.
That's all I did.
I had no plans.
It's a
I had
shame.
no plans.
But it's a shame. Like you don't know. It's a shame I did it that way, but that's what I did. I did the bare minimum.
I don't ever remember him being. I don't remember bringing books home.
No, me either.
Thanks, Keith. I appreciate
It
it.
was a long walk.
Kind of a surprise.
I sent you a congrats.
Yeah.
An awesomeness. Very
Really,
good.
really a big surprise.
What do we got for sports wise, man? What happened this weekend? Not much of
Well,
anything.
there was
NASCAR.
a player died.
Yes. Oh, from the
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
He was
who
like
else did he play for? Detroit?
He was like 38 years old. He was
Yeah,
like
young guy.
37,
Do we know any of
38.
the details about that?
No, they just.
He had a wife and 2
I
kids.
think he might have. The article kind of leaned towards him killing himself
I hope not.
because he.
He's gone. That's
the
a
whole-
shame,
the
no
whole-
matter what. But
hotel room, that
oh
type of
yeah,
shit.
that's good.
Um,
Very good because I think he was still married, and of course he had children, 2 kids, I believe.
One of the biggest stories in sports, though, is the person that designed the Lombardi Trophy. His daughter
Yeah,
requested an apology from
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady for
For throwing.
throwing it across the water. Man, dude, that was so cool. I saw that video.
I don't believe he did it, but he did
did.
it.
Dude,
it was on
He did it
video.
3 times.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that he did.
Oh yeah.
He
Can't
did
believe
it 3 times.
Yeah, and it was funny. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. And then they show his friend holding him, walking him down the sidewalk.
Yeah, he
because
had too
was
much to drink.
trapped. But dude, I'm not. The guy. He's got 7 Super Bowls. He's the best quarterback to ever play football. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm finally agreeing to it. After that, he deserves the title. And the money he makes, and he says he's a vegan. He doesn't drink. He wants to go out one night and get plastered.
What? Did
Go
you see
out.
that boat he has? $2 million.
Was that his boat?
Yeah,
What,
that's
they,
his.
They said he came in a $2 million boat, but
No,
that's
it's his.
boat. Is
Yeah,
it?
I read some more about it.
That was a nice
56
boat.
footer.
That's a nice
And dude,
boat.
that's a different style boat. That's real nice.
Yeah.
That's a real nice boat.
Well, I guess he's not moving.
Pull
out.
up to the Hard Rock and
Yeah,
that thing and
yeah.
see what.
But
comes
anyway,
out.
of course he has a captain for it. He don't know how to drive it.
well,
I'm sure he could.
Yeah, but when you get out into the water, but you're coming in, that's a 56 footer. That ain't no, what's it called? That ain't no back bay boat.
you're not.
Yeah, he has
Just
somebody. He has
pulling
somebody
it in and-
driving that for him. Probably the Gronk. He'll chew it all up. They'll just say, we'll get another one.
Ray, 2 different eras of football, and that's a lot of people's arguments. Saying the time Joe Montana played, he was the greatest that ever played. The time Brady played, the best he ever played. But Brady played with simpler times, simpler rules. I think different rules and different. You weren't allowed to hit the quarterback now like you used to be able to hit.
Yeah,
someone.
what do you think about in the next 2 years? It's going to have a red flag on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do nothing with them.
Yeah, you pull the flag and they're down.
Yeah, but we have Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles is going to probably be traded to Chicago, where
To Chicago.
that's
I've heard
they're
that. I
saying
heard some
where
other
what's
ones,
his name
that's
is from the Eagles that won the Super Bowl when Wentz was out.
Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles.
Foles in Chicago, is he?
Yeah, Nick Foles is in
How the
Chicago
hell did he go to Chicago?
last year.
He was backing up Carr.
Is that right? Anyway,
went
Foles
somewhere
is
else.
in Chicago. Now Nick Foles will be the lead, and Wentz will be the backup. That's strange. What's going to be getting traded? J.J. Watt is out of Texas.
Yep.
And he's going to go to 3 different teams: Pittsburgh.
So is Sean Watson's out of.
Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of football news over the next couple of weeks.
I saw a trade.
Where these guys are going.
I saw a possible trade of Russell Wilson from Seattle.
Why would they get rid of him?
Going to the Jets, and then
He ain't no
for
money
like a couple first-round picks, and with this
Saving
and that,
money.
and Garofalo, Joe Garofalo going somewhere. But
I don't believe that Russell Wilson would. What would be their? But Mort just said save money, but I didn't know they had to have save money with him there.
Jets need a quarterback.
Yeah, but that mean he would go to the Jets, and then his backup would be the ugly man syndrome from
No, he's going to
Clemson.
He's going to Jacksonville.
He's going to Jacksonville.
That's
the rumors.
Well, that's the
I mean, he's first
consensus. He's
that-
first
Jacksonville has the first pick. That's what everybody's kind of saying, but
because everybody needs a quarterback.
we don't know.
But is he saying he don't like them either, or he just don't like?
No, he hasn't said anything about Jacksonville.
No, because he know he didn't want the Jets.
No.
What's his name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
Oh, Bosa was. Yeah, you were hearing it right now. Bosa was in on that trade too, going somewhere else
Oh, wow.
from San Fran.
Well, let them trade away. Now that Jose says, where is Dak Prescott going?
Trubisky's in Chicago.
We haven't heard a word about him, I wouldn't doubt that they'll drop a bombshell on us, and by the end of the summer.
Well, it's going to happen soon because spring football is going to start. I mean, they start what, June?
Keith says Dak to Texas for Watson. Wow.
He stays in Texas, though.
Wow.
Watson's a better quarterback. And
Dak got hurt. That was his problem.
He's like 3 years older than Dak.
And how about I told Bones Mort earlier that the biggest wide receiver, he plays for the Patriots, but they gave him $74 million for 4 years for a wide receiver.
Wow.
Big dough.
Wow. Well,
19 plus a year.
hopefully he's worth it.
And we can't even win the lottery.
That
I'll
dude
tell
did.
you what. I had a dream last night because I had this Tom Brady boat in my head, I guess, so I dreamt about it. That if we hit the lottery, the big one, that's the boat I would buy.
A $2 million boat?
Yeah, the Brady boat.
I got the same boat as Tom Brady.
Huh.
Or buy Brady's boat.
Say, Brady, do you like that anymore, or was that just a whim? You know what I mean? But, dude, you should see it, man. It's really cool looking.
It was a beautiful boat. I didn't think it was his. They said he arrived in a $2 million boat.
Yeah.
I assumed it was somebody else.
Now, I've been reading
Why I
this.
assumed,
Yeah.
I don't know, because he lives down there now.
He lives down there now, so he has a spot for it.
And it was the coolest freaking victory parade I've ever seen.
Hey, that's a cool parade in the water.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And as soon as
Good friend of mine he retired from his job, sold his house, bought a boat. They live on the boat.
Houseboat.
Yep. Well,
That's
not a
pretty cool.
houseboat, but it's a boat.
Okay.
It's not a houseboat like, traditional
down
houseboat.
here,
Near the center part, they're on a lake, center part of the state.
Mississippi.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know if I can. I guess I can live on a houseboat.
I'll tell you what.
Not with animals.
It's
though.
not a
Yeah.
it's not a houseboat, like
Right.
Traditional.
it's a boat
That
that
you can sleep on.
yeah, they
You
got
have all the amenities.
they got a small
Well,
kitchen.
I've
and
been
all
on
that
a couple of
stuff, I'm sure.
houseboats, and I definitely could live on one.
Oh, I've seen them.
I've
up
seen
in
the
the
real
Seattle
nice.
area. They're
They got a fireplace in them and all.
$2 million houseboats.
Yeah.
Kayla said she'd come down here in a heartbeat if
And what?
Kendall, because Kendall lives on the houseboat down by the bayou. That the guy that owns the bayou, and he's thinking about bringing 1 or 2 more in and docking them and renting them out. So I'd move down there in a heartbeat if I can get a freaking houseboat.
Huh.
They're nice, man. My brother had one years ago, and his was just okay, but it was very livable.
Yeah.
But Jackie, my friend Jackie, came in here and got herself straight finally.
This is good for her, man.
Her sister goes out with a guy that sells them, and she cleans them and stuff like that for the people who have them docked and stuff. They have an apartment, people, they have that, but they have that for their weekend stuff. They go on the weekends and 3 or 4 day weekends and live on the houseboat, and then they have a little apartment just to be off the boat. But they're really, really nice.
We saw them. We did the little duck tour up in Seattle. So
yeah, we did that too.
They took us, where all the houseboats are docked and everything. And the guys were pointing out, this one's about $1 million, $1.5 million.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're
Big
for
news
a
then.
freaking houseboat.
big money.
Yeah.
For a houseboat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. They would have it. Dude, this one,
yeah.
the Jackie's friend cleans one for had a fireplace in it.
Yeah. Double decker. I mean,
two floors. And then you get to lay out on the deck on the thing. There's a railing where you can go out and walk around and lay out on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
I would
would.
like one of them.
I'm not sure if that's
Like
a
down in Tampa or
long-term thing.
wherever, somewhere nice in Florida. I wouldn't mind having one
I'm
of them.
surprised we don't have them here though.
I know.
As much waterfront as there is.
Yeah.
There's some, but they're the older.
Yeah,
They got them
older.
along their rivers. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They're fish camp is what they call them. They're little fish camps. And in reality, all they are is a mobile home put on a barge.
That's right.
I've seen some of those too.
They're right.
A mobile home on a barge, an old barge.
Yeah. They don't need a dentist.
You don't get much. You don't get much more redneck than
Yes,
that.
No.
yeah. You go on Hospital Row over there. Back behind Ocean Springs Hospital, all the neighbors down here, the trailers, and all that stuff. Well, there's a couple down there that are actually, they build the big pylons and poles to put the houses on it.
Yeah.
Mobile homes on top of those. Yes, we drove by there. And we look. Did I just?
Do you think?
I did see that, man.
Do you think? And I won't say the F bomb. I'll just say F. Do you think they say, "Man, we're really effed up"? Or do
No,
they
I
just
think
go,
they're like,
No, they're just
we're
living cheap.
We're living large.
yeah, I guess.
We
They don't think we're rich.
got the pie in the sky, man.
Mhm.
Literally.
Storm's got to come and just take that fucking thing. right
Oh,
off
can
the-
you imagine that? It's
You'd
not
still be
very
sitting on
heavy.
the toilet when all the walls blew off.
Well, no, when the thing just falls off the stills.
By them rocking it or having
Oh,
making another what's it called? An illegitimate kid.
wow. Wow.
So what we got any 101 there?
Not on my pad. I might have some on the phone.
I saw
All right.
Hold on a second.
when I was stationed in Florida, I saw a little mobile home park where they had some old beat up trailers, and they had this guy that had bought a couple of like $2,000 trailers, and he had them connected to one another. So he had a single wide, and then he had a single wide next to it, and he had connected them together and put a roof over it. And then he put another one off the side for like an outhouse, a house,
Yeah.
a mother-in-law suite,
Yeah.
So he had a double wide, but
I'll
it was
tell you
two
what.
single wides.
It was Vincent Jackson.
Yes, Vincent Jackson.
Vincent Jackson from Tampa Bay. Where the hell did he go? found
We
that
lived in a
hotel
trailer.
in
We bought a trailer. so-
Stevie Myers, he calls it the trailer court, not trailer park.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a trailer
it's court. Yeah.
Yeah, but he
And they call them manufactured homes now, not.
yeah,
No.
but he lives in a real nice in Gulfport.
Uh-huh.
Right. He's like 2 miles from the Harley Davidson dealership in the exit 44,
Okay.
and it's a real nice park. It has a pool and stuff like that. It's nice people in there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of beat up ones,
Oh,
but
sure.
and his is the beat up. But there's some real nice ones, and it's real clean.
Yeah.
Real clean. There's nobody, with cars up on.
Oh, no
Cinder
cinder blocks?
blocks? No,
Oh,
no.
come on. What's
You
a
know, the guy
trailer
didn't
park
allow
without?
that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, but I drove through it a bunch of times. I said, man, this ain't a bad deal
You
around
gotta
here.
have a
You gotta
car
have
on
a car. It's never going to be fixed.
Yeah.
I got
Russ's
nothing,
car,
man.
the Jeep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Russ
one-
has a Jeep. Says he's going to get fixed. He's been talking about that for the 3 years.
I hear he's
known
got a
him.
refrigerator
The one
on
right
his
next
front
to the
porch,
fridge?
too.
That's what's it called? The air conditioned car.
I got nothing.
Oh yeah, you do. Actually, you do, because you talked about it. I think yesterday or whatever. That Pelosi is actually putting together
Oh my God.
a.
Oh,
Yes.
please don't annoy me tonight.
She wants to put together a committee to investigate the storming of the Capitol. And then I put out there, well, if you're going to do that, while you're at it, put a committee together to investigate all the congressmen and women that suggested to protest and voice your opinion and go out on the streets and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Pre-election, all that stuff. If you're going to do one, do the other. That is
They
not.
ain't going to do that though.
Well, I think that's the reason why they voted to acquit and not have
Witnesses.
any witnesses, because they didn't want that brought back in.
Oh no.
Because when your back's up against the wall, you don't hold any punches back.
Nope.
I mean,
No.
in
You're right.
in a defense of the former president, that dude's not used to pulling punches.
No.
He's not going
He's
to hold
coming out
back.
swinging.
Oh yeah, and I think honestly, it kind of scared them when you get down to it, and they rightly should have been scared.
Isn't that what Lindsey Graham did? Lindsey Graham voted against the witnesses. He's a Republican. He voted against bringing witnesses out.
Right.
No problem. But then apparently the article says he thought about it, and he said, "Wait a second. Maybe we need to bring the witnesses.
Bring 'em
get
in.
this stuff out."
Let's see
So
it.
he changed his vote
Yeah.
to bring witnesses.
Well,
Let's
you
see it.
Still
think,
wasn't enough.
all the people in power, all the big ones. I mean, there's some ones that are not so big, that are unheard of, really. They probably have a lot of information that could hurt
Oh,
he or
absolutely.
she.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, what do you think in Trump's 4 years that he has found out about he or she? You know what I mean?
There's no question.
And so
There's no question.
you don't want to poke a rat with a stick because he's going to come out biting.
I saw a meme today with a picture of Jill Biden that says, "Finally, a first lady with class."
I see that too.
No,
I have nothing wrong. She's a nice lady. She's good.
But why would you diss the old first lady?
I thought Melania Trump was
I think she was very elegant.
absolutely.
that's a good word to describe her. Jill Biden, I think she's
a political.
she's a lady too. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
she portrays herself well.
Yes.
Look, Michelle Obama did too. I mean,
Absolutely.
she when she had to, she came out with
Yeah.
with what she had to come out with.
Right.
But when she was wanting to wear blue jeans, my God, she was going to wear blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you,
I'm
Tom.
not taking it away from them. Let them do it.
I'm not either.
Leave the families alone.
Yeah, leave them alone, man. They're not a part of the big deal.
I just leave all of them alone.
Yeah.
Let them do what they're supposed to
Where
do.
did the banners go? Oh, it's right there.
Leave all of them alone. Let them do what they're supposed to do.
We want to put a thank you out before we forget to all of our sponsors. We appreciate you all. We wish you much success in your endeavors.
And who are they?
And they are Mike Bryan from
Greater Home and Auto.
Greater, I was going to say Better Home.
Yeah, I say that too.
Greater Harmon Automo. We got GTO Greater Home and Auto. GTO Cigars. Those who know smoke GTO.
They do that.
We have Frontline Cigars.
He's got a new. I showed you yesterday. I didn't show Bob. I didn't show Mav. They got a new logo. We haven't gotten it up there yet. He's supposed to send it to me.
That's nice.
Isn't it?
Nice.
Yes.
I like it. You did a good job.
Nice
Steve.
logo with the Frontline Cigars.
You got to have Mark send that to me. So we got Frontline. We got Ray from Cigar Enthusiast.
Ray from the Cigar Enthusiast.
Cigar Prop.
Cigar
Prop.
Which date
Kevin Shanahan.
They got their first new show out there with the Broadleaf Bullies.
Can you look it up?
Absolutely.
Okay, I liked it, but I didn't get to watch it yet.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
At first, they were just going to go podcast, but Kevin talked them into doing the
Good.
video part.
Good.
You got Kerr and Jen, and then you got Jess and Kevin.
Right.
Just the first one, she said it was. Jen said they were a little. They got all the hellos and everything about each
Trying
other
to
out
figure-
and all that.
Yeah.
But she said the next one will just be.
Off the chain,
I
right?
had my second one last night.
How'd that go?
All right, the guest couldn't get the guest on, get a hold of him, so we just kind of sat.
Winged it? Good. That's
All right,
what?
so-
That's sometimes better even.
Tom, what you need to do as far as the Frontline cigars, you need to get a hold of Mo, and he will ship them to you.
Absolutely. Frontlinecigars.com.
Yep.
Frontlinecigars.com.
Yeah.
Or go on the other sponsors, StogieLives.com, and get a hold of him there.
Yeah, frontlinecigars.com.
Yep. Which is another good
Social media.
social media to go to, which is all strictly cigar related. It's got a marketplace. You can sell anything you want.
Except ammo.
Except ammo.
Except
Well, you
ammunition.
can just say, and you can get around that somehow, some way. But
Private
legally,
message.
Yeah, legally you cannot
Yeah.
send it. But I got something to show Bobby. I think I showed Jeff yesterday.
So let's talk about NASCAR, since
Oh,
none of us
dude.
are really NASCAR fans.
Oh,
No.
I am. I love NASCAR.
Do you really?
The
Yeah.
race
We
didn't
itself.
know that.
I used to hate
Oh
it.
yeah, he follows one
I used,
guy.
used to hate it.
He says pick somebody and follow him.
That's
and
okay.
yeehaw.
I can never understand sitting there watching, going in a circle.
Loop to loop.
Can never understand. Brendan comes one time with all his friends, put the race on. I'm like, Brendan, I don't want to. Dad, put the race on. I'm saying,
It's like watching
You're like-
golf.
who do you pick? I said, what? He goes, pick a driver. So who do you follow? He said, Kevin Harvick. I said, all right, I'll watch him. When you have a driver that you're watching, it's a whole different.
It's a whole different game. Okay, I understand.
But the race this weekend, 15 laps in, bam,
Yeah.
half the field is gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Half.
And then
on.
rain delay. 6 hours, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a long time because when I got home, I was still watching it at 7
But
o'clock.
they race at night, from what I understand.
Well, they
Sometimes.
they did the race. They finished the
but
race.
you know what? It was dark.
And then what
I
happens
thought
at
that would
the
be
end?
much more dangerous.
The
No,
number
that's all
one and
so
number
lit up.
2 car in the race wreck. So the
At the end, yeah.
yeah, at the end, and the number 3 car, he's like, "Holy shit,
I won.
I won!" Ain't that some stuff?
How about that?
He could
Well, who did win it? What was his name?
Oh,
I don't know.
So I never heard of him before. man.
All right.
He was a.
I'd love the
The one
commercials.
guy I would want to race against was the guy that started all that controversy with the loop and the noose and what's his name?
Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You know who he's teamed with? You know what the team with? You'll never guess.
Michael Jordan.
He guessed.
I really,
Really?
I liked
Really?
I liked the commercials when they were talking. When they had
Uh-huh.
everybody, and then the one guy sitting there at the interviews table, and he's like, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch. Right?
yeah.
Now, speaking of commercials, I was not impressed with the commercials this year in Super Bowl.
No.
Me.
But
We talked about it last week. The guy in the oat field was stupid.
every network channel was talking about him the day after.
Yes.
His bad singing, the whole bit.
Yeah.
They talked about it.
Great effort.
Free
Great-
advertisement.
Yep. Absolutely
Now,
right.
they pulled Springsteen's commercial. We're sitting there going, wow, look at that. That's Bruce. You know, he's driving down and Bobby's
He
like,
looks wore
Bobby's
out,
like,
didn't
that
he?
kind of looks like Bruce. I said,
It is.
Listen to the music. Listen to the voice.
And then
It is. And then
They had him looking weird or
He,
something.
Well,
he
he
was looking pretty rough.
he was clean shaven, dude.
Yeah.
I've never seen him clean.
Yeah,
totally
he
One
was
did
like
in the
scraggly,
Born
like-
in the USA tour. He was
Yeah,
clean
he was.
shaven.
This was,
But that's a long time ago.
Yeah, 1984.
Yeah. So, but they pulled that because he got in a little trouble with the law.
Yeah, he got DUI.
He got a DUI. Why is a guy like that driving his own car? We'll never know.
We talked
We
about.
can't fathom it.
we-
All the resources behind you.
Well, I could see somebody like him driving his own car. Now, if he went out drinking and partying or whatever,
But a guy
At
like
that
that,
point-
dude, a guy like that ain't going out by himself.
No,
he's
he's
gonna
got-
have 10 guys with him.
he's got a
or 10 guys
bodyguard.
and girls, yeah, at least. And
Or-
so why isn't the bodyguard was probably more loaded?
or Patty with
He
him.
could have been.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. he could
But you
do
know what I'm
that.
saying? A guy ain't that. It ain't like one of us
No.
saying, "No, let's go to Castaways and have a couple," and then we got jammed up. He ain't by himself.
No, we
So
just
why is somebody letting him drive?
we know for a fact that people who go to Castaways drink and leave their car in the parking lot here at the cigar. We know that for a fact.
We call that the park of shame.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
That guy just
Why
do
is
that all the time.
why is a guy like that driving?
Beyond me.
I'm serious.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? The guy, he ain't, like I said, he ain't by himself. Someone will say, "Hey, boss, you know what I mean? We had a couple. Let's get a limo and go home."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think with somebody that kind of thing would just probably buy his way out of the DUI anyway.
Oh, now
But
they
his
put it all over to
commercial
me.
was, I mean, it's
It
kind
was
of
for
like,
Jeep, but it wasn't even. You didn't even know it was for Jeep until the end.
let's all of us just get together.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, the guy that wants
He's a mess.
you to have together bathrooms in North Carolina. Remember, North Carolina said, we're not putting on your shows to continue to do this. Way back when
I got another story that kind of falls along the lines of
Yes,
things.
2311 Motors.
The guy who does My Pillow
Yeah.
is getting jammed up hard.
because all these people are jumping off ship.
Yeah, they're dropping his stuff
Yeah.
because of who he supported in the last election.
I missed that first part.
Yeah.
The guy who does My Pillow,
Oh yeah.
he's getting a jam. He's getting jammed
And
up hard.
even that kid from Parkland. Remember the shooting in Florida?
Yeah.
One kid that was protesting to do all this. Where he got the money from and how he got the funding, who knows? But he said he started up a pillow company to rival and take that guy out. He ain't taking him out.
No, he ain't taking
Dude,
him out.
he's got pillows everywhere. He's got mattresses. I'll tell you, I have no problem with what he said. That's the best pillow I ever had.
Yeah,
Look,
I love it. I use it every
Best
night.
pillow I ever freaking had.
You got to put politics aside in some things.
Yeah, you have to.
You know, goodness, I'm not going to go to a grocery store and not buy a head of lettuce because the company that made this head of lettuce or harvested this head of lettuce hires illegals.
Right.
So I'm not going to do that.
What was the other one? Not Ortega. It was another company that cans the Mexican food and all that.
Oh yeah.
Old El Paso?
No.
That-
I know who you mean. I can't remember, but I know who you mean. Exactly who you mean.
I don't know where you
They're
were going.
very popular in supermarkets.
I don't know where you were going on.
Yeah, he got a bunch of shit too for what he said, and he said the sales are up.
Yeah.
The sales are up.
Well, you know the My Pillow guy. He's making
Big coin.
he is so he's telling these guys like Bed Bath and Beyond, hey, you drop my stuff. Guess what?
Fine, I'll sell online.
I'm not coming back to you.
You're right. Yeah, you're not going to get a second. Oh, there's no. I'm sorry, we messed up. Yeah, you're out.
You're done. You drop me.
Yeah,
I'm
we
done.
got pillow business. You're making money. I'm making money. What's the problem?
What is the problem?
I don't know. I don't get it.
You know, put politics aside. It's business.
Yep.
Did anybody
Business.
stop going to Chick-fil-A because they're closed on Sundays because of their
No.
religious beliefs? No.
Some people say they have, but
you know
you
what?
don't see
And then
that.
they'll drive by and they're with a friend in the car and we're going to Chick-fil-A. He said, oh, I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
he'll eat.
Yeah.
Or
He's
she.
line-
He or she.
that line proves that
it's out to the street all the time. All the
Oh,
time.
big time.
I
You
don't
should
go
see
that
it
often.
at lunchtime at 11 o'clock. They go leave their offices early.
Because I don't eat fast food a lot anymore, but I like Chick-fil-A. But
Yeah.
you got to go all the way to freaking I mean, it's not all the way. It's 15, 20-minute drive.
But still, if you don't want to
But
do
if
it,
I'm
you
going
don't
to drive
want to do
15,
it.
20 minutes, I'm going to go to Crystal's and get somewhat close to White Castle.
Yeah.
Every man, God, I wish they had White Castle.
What's
White
talking
Castle
about
would be
that? Is there anything going to open up at that Kentucky Fried Chicken? That was that, and
There's something going on there because I drove behind it the other day when I went to Lost Pizza and I drove by it, and you can see they're
moving around some materials.
Well,
Also,
the
the movie theater right behind M&M Bank where I feed the kitty cats.
Yeah.
They're knocking that down, building something back there.
Back up a second.
It's an old theater.
It's all
There's a movie theater back there?
It's an old
Yeah,
theater.
it was an old movie theater.
Yep.
Really?
Way back in the day.
Yeah, like
One screen.
One screen. I thought it was two.
One screen.
One screen theater, like 20 years ago.
Really?
Yep.
Used to go to it when I was a teenager.
M&M Bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right out here in 90. Can't miss the building.
Between the
It's back
cat
there.
car washes. Yeah, it's back there.
It is back there.
But that's where the kitty cats hang out.
That's another thing. One night he's sitting there, he goes, I'm going to feed the cats. I said, dude, we're in the middle of something. Let Joe feed the cats. Doesn't he know how to feed the cats here at home? No, I don't go home to feed the cats. I go to the bank. And that's
Yeah, he didn't realize I was feeding the cats.
I said he goes back behind the bank in the dark by himself.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day when the cops come.
He already did.
Oh,
The
did
cop
they?
pulled up to me. He says, what are you doing? I said, I'm feeding the cats. He says, okay. I said, you want any idea or anything? He says, no, go ahead. See you later. And he back. I said, is that the way to get out of robbing somebody? You
I'm
just say,
feeding the
cats.
You got your one leg coming out of the window. I was just feeding the cat.
I went to pick up Chinese food last night, and Ocean
Speaking
Springs,
of cats.
Ocean Springs Finest, because the cops.
Yeah.
That's where the cops come in. Had somebody jacked up right in Rouse's parking lot. I mean, he's down on the ground, cuffed.
Oh.
Everybody's standing around.
Shoplifting, probably.
From Rouse's.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Dude, they got some good barbecue there sometimes. Oh my good God. What
Tom, you're not too far off on that comment, because that was when I was dating my now wife. So, yeah, I was not really worried about the movies. I couldn't tell you a movie that we watched there.
Where's he from?
But
not
we
from-
went.
No, he's from South Dakota, right?
Yeah. But he's a guy. He's probably done the same thing.
We were just talking about movies as you're going to the old single theaters, you know what I mean, before the multiplexes or whatever they're called.
Yep.
But I used to enjoy them more, as you're thinking, because less people, man.
Oh, yeah,
and
there
was no phones and there was no nothing. It was
just
you may have a
simpler.
little chatter and people were making out and stuff like that, but it was much simpler.
Yeah,
I don't know if you would have.
And I paid $2 to see Grizzly Adams at the Crest Movie Theater.
You did a movie?
Huh?
Grizzly Adams?
Grizzly Adams.
Really?
That's where it's originated. That's where originally you started that movie yet.
We went and the town, I guess it was right down the street. South Bay Movie Theater had like 3-4 movies, but there was one on the other side of town called the RKO. You ever been to RKO?
It rings a
It was
bell.
like a 2-screen movie theater.
Yeah,
Little
it rings
square
a bell.
building. We at one time had double doors on the outside. So if you went in those, so when you left the theater, you go right out there, boom, right in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like 8 or 9 of us.
One go in and
all
pay.
chip in, pay, go in and sit next to the door. So as soon as the lights went out,
Open the
bam,
door.
door went open.
Yeah.
And we did that to sneak in and see Saturday Night Fever.
Wow. John Travolta.
Dude, it was a great movie.
Yeah,
The
it
wasn't bad.
soundtrack was.
It wasn't bad.
Soundtrack
what
was
else?
fantastic.
What else do you miss about that? Do you remember? They're talking about making another drive-in in Mississippi here somewhere close.
They
by.
should.
You know what I mean? A nice
Especially with COVID.
I
and
know.
because you know what, you'd have the Bluetooth as your sound system,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't have to do a lot of the speaker stuff.
You remember those
speakers
speakers
were
used
cool.
to get cut.
Oh,
Yeah, you'd go in there and there'd be no speaker.
yeah.
We'll pull
But
out.
they weighed a
Yeah.
ton too, so
Yeah.
you put it on your
Clank.
scratch your glass up all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got 10.
But what
I
they're
used to go
also
to the
doing,
Lincoln Theater, and after 12 they had dirtiers.
what they're also doing is they're putting
What?
They had dirty movies after 12 o'clock
At the drive-in?
Yeah.
like Skinamax type movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Not full on.
No, not triple, but
Oh, wow.
single X.
Yeah. So what they're
Which is
doing,
good.
what they're doing with some of these now is they're broadcasting on a low frequency FM channel.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you turn the music.
Yeah, there you go.
Put your stereo
That would be
on
pretty
and-
cool too.
And
But you
no
know they
more
got the
speakers.
technology to make it easier, so
Oh,
nobody's
yeah.
running into them poles. They used to see
Oh yeah.
at an empty theater. You used to just see 1,000 of them poles up.
All bed up and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and the paint chipped off them from
You
people
used to be able
sideswiping
to
them.
go there by the carload.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you
Yeah.
stick people in the trunk.
Yeah,
do
but
whatever.
yeah, all
But you talked about
everybody had to do a scam. You just
Oh.
got 4 guys couldn't just pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm here by myself.
You go on Thursday night and it was, the carload gets in free. So you got
Yeah.
a pickup truck and there's 40 people in the back of the truck.
That's the first movie my dad ever took me to. It was a drive-in movie theater. I was like 12 years old to see Bonnie and Clyde
Wow.
at 12.
Faye Dunaway
I don't
and,
remember what the
Warren
last
Warren Beatty.
I don't remember what the last movie I saw at a drive-in was, but it was right after we got married. Was
Wow, that's a long time. That's
it
40
was
years ago.
40 years ago.
Mine may have been Star Wars.
I just couldn't tell you. I
Mine
never
was
saw
Armageddon.
Star Wars anywhere but in a theater.
Mine was Armageddon at the drive-in.
Wow.
But,
We used to go see scary movies at the.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
You bought,
Yeah, because it's dark and you're thinking,
Oh, yeah.
looking behind you, you hear nothing noise.
you talk about hanging the speakers on the windows, would maybe think, well, you won't do that nowadays because you don't want to scratch your tent.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Get this, and explain to me how this works. I saw a video the other day. The guy says, "I'm going to tint my windows."
Syrup.
Dude,
Is that the one?
he took pure maple syrup in a bowl with a big old paintbrush all over the window.
Okay.
All over. First, he taped it with painter's tape all the way around.
Yeah, so
you
you
got
didn't hit the paint.
syrup all over the window. Then he took the toothpaste that has the charcoal in it.
Yeah.
Put that on there. Put it on the brush. Smeared it all over the windows, on top of the maple syrup. Then he took cellophane or like cling wrap or whatever, put it on there in pieces, whatever. Obviously, it was a little windy out. He said, "No, I probably should have done this in the garage because he's had a hard time." But you put the cellophane on there, you pat it down, whatever. Let it wait for an hour. Peel the cellophane off, and then he took like a water bottle that had a little bit of Windex and water, and mix of Windex and water, and sprayed it on there to try and break it up, and then sponge it on in, and sponge it in, and clean it all up. Dude, that window was darker than your freaking jacket.
You
Wow.
think it really worked? Or you think we're being scammed? Because, putting that on your window.
Glass is pretty porous, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm saying when he was doing that with the paintbrush, I'm saying it's really messy. But he taped He taped everything else like he was doing a professional job.
Yeah.
That's what got me wondering if it was true or not.
I would like to try it, but I wouldn't try it
I'm
on my
not trying.
car. I
No.
tried this on a piece of glass or
Yeah,
windshield
yeah,
or something,
yeah.
on there and do that. And I was just like, because every now and then, if you don't take your seatbelt off right, the thing clicks on the window and you get. I had my truck at one point way back when had all these
Little things. And
and I said, what do I do to fix this? I can't use a Sharpie or anything. You have to get it retinted.
Yeah.
But I saw that syrup thing and I was just like, can that really freaking work?
I don't know, man. It's helpful hints by Heloise.
I guess, yeah. They tell you can clean your headlights with toothpaste.
That worked. I tried that. That did work.
And it's supposed to buff them up.
How about that?
Brand new. So.
Me, Keith, and Stump did my headlights, and then we did Keith's with the stuff you buy from the store, the 3M stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked pretty good. It got that film, and it was less than $10.
And did you have to put a lot of elbow grease into it?
They did. I had something.
Surprise.
Yeah,
I said,
I
Stump, you want to do this for me? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I'll do it for you. He did. He likes anything that has to do with car shit. He's into that.
Yeah.
Car stuff, guns, whatever. Just. So he did, and like I said, you can see them right now. If you look out that window, you can still see they're pretty shiny.
Yeah.
I went to use a clear beer bottle to try and.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? A Miller bottle.
It would have. That's the first bottle I thought it was Miller.
Yeah.
But you know why? I read somewhere, and maybe it's when I went to the Budweiser factory, why the beer bottles are dark.
Yeah, I know why.
That's because it doesn't age the beer, right?
The light,
the sun doesn't
age it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Mav is always going to be the supervisor. Yeah, he's got a guy.
He's
got a guy.
He's got a bone in his leg.
When my dad stepped on that table,
man.
it collapsed with the paint. And that was the last time he ever did a chore at the house.
Well,
I told him that story. My dad was painting the kitchen just when I was born, 1964, 65. I was like a year old. And my mom got him to paint the kitchen where they lived. And he was on the table, and he remember the two things?
Oh, the leaves, yeah.
Yeah, the two leaves that dropped. Well, he had the paint can on, and it went inside the oven. All the burners, everybody had a gas range back then.
Yeah.
So it covered that. And he says, I'll never do anything around these houses again. Never. His tool bag consisted of a butter knife, a Phillips head, and a flathead. That was all. Not even a hammer or a tape measure.
Oh, wow.
He can't do it with that. He
says if he couldn't do it with that, he's out.
Yeah, I mean.
But, the paint, I can just picture the paint being all over. I'm sure there was some profanity after that.
There was.
Oh.
Yeah, good old Philly dad.
Yeah, the leaf went, the paint went.
I'm kind of like that with regards to working on my car. Because
you don't like doing anything with it.
They're so complicated now.
Yeah.
It's not like in the old days when, the alternator goes out, you get up underneath and you got to unscrew, 2 or 3 long-ass screws.
Right.
Drop it down. Hopefully it doesn't land on your face.
Right.
Reach over, grab the other one, pull it over, put it in, align it.
And it was pretty lined up.
Align it again.
Yeah, sure.
Align it again.
Yeah.
Cuss a few times. You finally get those 3 bolts in there, and it's done. Now you got to get the serpentine belt in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
dude,
there was nothing.
Nothing really
difficult.
In your way, and it wasn't nothing really in your way.
No, you got your starter. You got all these things that you replaced. You just did it.
Everything. Now you open the hood.
And now you open the hood, and everything is so compact in there, and it's like.
How did they get to it?
I couldn't even tell you how to replace that belt.
I had a 1992 Jeep Cherokee Sport.
Right.
And I think we moved in 96. It's about 98, 99. So it's about 7, 8 years old.
No.
And it had a little leak in the head gasket. Now we're talking, they had a straight 6. Everything was wide open. Bought it here, as a matter of fact. I think it was Champion when we left the first time. And I said, I think I could do this. I mean, how hard can this be?
Yeah.
It wasn't our only vehicle. So if the vehicle's going to be down, we got another one. So I went and I bought the Remember the old Chilton guides?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Tell you how to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Now you got YouTube, which you just walk it
Yeah,
through.
you don't need no more
Yeah.
manuals now.
Pause
I
it.
read the book, looked at it, said do this, did all that, put it on. Started right out. I was so proud of myself. But that's about the extent of.
Yeah, well, you like doing that kind of stuff.
I like the sense of accomplishment. When you do
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
sure.
I will know if I can't do it. I'm not going to even try to do it.
No,
Yeah,
I don't even like messing with it because I have a feeling I'm going to screw it up.
The last time that I tried to do something on a vehicle, well, it wasn't the last time, but the one that jammed me up the most, I had a Chevy Love pickup truck.
I remember them.
You remember a little bitty thing?
Yep.
And the steering wheel was like freaking this big. It was just huge, and there was like that much gap, to slide in up underneath. I said, this thing's got to go. This thing is too big. So the Chilton's manual pulled that thing out, looked at it, and went, man, there's only one big freaking nut in there that's holding this thing in place.
How hard can it be?
How hard can this be?
Oh, boy.
So we got a breaker bar. We took that thing off. I mean, it took probably a couple hours to actually get the thing out of there. And I bought a new one that fits.
Wheel, a couple
steering
hours
wheel.
to get it out?
Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible task. I bought one of these little bitty things, look good, little stylish thing. Fit in there just fine. It took us 9 hours to get that thing in there.
I would have sold the car like it.
And it was like, there's no steering wheel on this. I can't even drive this. We're trying to figure out how this thing locks in place, and we get it to where we think it's going to work, and we start tightening up that big ass nut that's holding the thing in there, and it slips, and now it's just turning. Oh, it was a horrible thing. So once you get a sense of accomplishment, when it's done, you're like, oh yeah, check this out. I got a new steering wheel and all this stuff, right? Even the horn worked. That was
the big thing.
That was the big thing, right? So then I say, because it was a beater truck that I paid a couple $100 for, I guess. It's just a beater truck. The dash was all jacked up. So I said, I replaced the dash. Wife worked at the Chevy place, so we ordered a dash. Cost me a couple $100. When I pulled that dash out of that box and I started looking at how many screws there were in that dash, it was like, oh my God. There was probably 100 of those little screw eyelet things, right?
Yep.
So I get the old one out. And I tried to I thought that I had all of the screws pulled out, and I tried to pull the dash out. It wasn't coming out. So I missed like 6 of them. So I finally get to those, and the dash comes out, and I'm like, man, look at all this stuff that's down in here. Found like $20 and coins and stuff that had fallen down.
Yeah, sure.
Found some weed. There was actually some weed in there too. So I found that.
Treasure.
I ended up turning that in to law enforcement, but then I started putting everything back together. And the only thing that went into the back of my mind was, good God, I hope that when I'm driving this thing, it's not squeaking the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we got everything back in, and there wasn't any screws left over. Drove it around 15 miles an hour on base, obviously, and there was no rubbing, none of that. I was really kind of proud of doing that because it was a big deal. So then it just blossomed. Everything that I wanted to try everything.
Oh, sure.
Everything.
Get it done.
Yeah, I tried. What the last thing that I tried on that truck was I wanted to put a different exhaust system on it.
Oh, now you're messing with stuff.
That should have been.
Oh no, that was the final straw, man. Because I dropped the exhaust system out off the head, the manifold. Dropped that thing off, and of course it drops on your chest, and you're like, oh yeah. Finally got that thing off, and it took us probably the better part of 2 days to get that thing in, because you got to fit it in.
Oh yeah,
and pull it out, so that it goes underneath all these brackets and stuff.
That's why you go to Midas.
Done. I said I'm not not doing this again.
That's good stuff.
Midas.
But you do get a sense of accomplishment. But yeah, go to Midas, and it takes them 3 hours to do it instead of 2 days.
Yeah.
It might cost you a couple $100, but sometimes.
But I like doing some
the
things,
money
and I
is-
feel, man, I did that right. That's pretty good.
I'm at a
like
point
messing
in my
with a lot of
life.
stuff.
Bones was talking about getting a car wash subscription or pass,
Got it.
and I'm like, I'm at the point in my life where I want a car wash that does that, but when I get done with it, I want some dude to vacuum it for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to
nothing
vacuum
to do
it.
it.
I don't want to
Yeah.
vacuum it
Yeah, I do that too, and I wish somebody did that for me.
because
But I got the car pass too.
that's a hassle. I can go and spray the thing off.
Yeah.
I could do that. It's the vacuum in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're in and out of that car wash in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, I
You're
bought the
still
top of the
listening to-
line
still
one, and it
listening
was
to
good.
radio?
And it puts the wax on it and everything.
Oh, you got the ceramic one.
Yeah, it puts the shine on the tires.
Yeah.
And it makes it look nice.
And you can go
Plus,
to
you
any
can go anytime you want.
You go,
Yeah.
and
You can go 3 times a day if you want.
Yeah. Tom says J.C. Whitney. I used to get that catalog
Oh,
religiously, and it doesn't matter. You open that thing up, any dude's going to open that up and go, "I need that.
yeah.
I need that too."
Yeah.
Oh, you got dog eared everything, and
Yeah.
you got the little order form filled out, and you're like, $5,000. What?
dude, I had a 1965 Chevy Nova that I bought from a friend down the block. I paid like $300 for it.
You wish you had that now?
Oh yeah, because when I went to the military, I sold it to a friend's brother, and he put like $3,500 in it.
Made it
It's
beautiful.
fucking beautiful, but it had, I put new tires on it, but the floorboards it was kind of like a Flintstone car. I had the floorboards there, and it had the rubber mats and shit.
Yeah.
If I hit a puddle pretty hard, the
Water
mat
came
pushed it
out.
out because it was so.
Yeah.
And I used it all the time. And I was like, nah. And then I had a 70 Challenger. And now that I wish I still had.
What's the worst thing you did on a car that took the longest?
You know what? I didn't do a lot of work on it. I used to, when I had my Escort, I used to like to change the oil on that because it was fast to do. But
Yeah.
I don't really remember anything like that. I
The
just
thing I bitch about the most on something I had to do.
No, something that you had to do that took the longest amount of time.
That head gasket took me longer, but that wasn't that bad. But recently, before I bought the new tire, after I got this truck and I fucked my tire up coming out of your neighborhood, I ended up having to get a set of tires.
yeah.
I thought I'd get enough air in it tonight to get home, whatever.
Yeah, I never
got the air in
understood.
it, put the air in it overnight. Didn't stay. Figured I'd put enough air in it again, get it to
The tire
the
place.
tire place and go shack. It wasn't holding air after the next day. Fuck, I got to change the tire.
Oh, it was
Wow.
underneath, right?
Oh yeah,
that's
you were
miserable.
telling us about
Yeah,
that.
that's miserable.
The key, and I'm not thinking this. I didn't know that behind the plate right there is that little key slot, and you just take these keys that are inside the fobs,
Yeah.
which I didn't know was there.
Right.
So Stump told me one day, it's such a fob. I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. I thought you put that key in there, and then you take the end of the jack along the jack,
Yeah.
and
crank it.
and turn the key.
Yeah.
Well, no, that snapped the key. Then I get underneath the fucking truck and look and say, because when you look on the other side, it stops right there. It's just a plug
Yeah.
to plug the hole.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that jack has to go through that hole and make all the way
Yeah,
over to
about
here
3
Yeah.
feet.
to
3
turn
feet,
down and
right?
drop the freaking
Yeah.
tire. Then
Right.
you got to
Yeah.
get the tire. It's the way it's through the hubcap and everything. Dude, those tires are freaking heavy.
I'm
And
sure.
you wonder
It's
why
good
you
stuff.
see all these trucks now that just has that thing that's hanging up underneath because you ain't putting it back up in there.
Oh,
No.
I did. Well, no, I didn't. I took it out. I put it in the back of the
Yeah,
truck.
of course he did.
Then I tried to get the spares out, and I tried to get the other one off. I couldn't get it off. I mean, this is just, I didn't have the impact wrench at that time.
Yeah.
And it was on tight. And then one of the guys working on the deck, his nephew, Cheyenne, the big kid that was there. I said, Cheyenne, I need help. I need some help, man. You help me get this off. It took about 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours to get
Oh
that.
goodness.
He's sitting there and he's just like, holy shit. And he's kicking the fucking tire. He's kicking the crowbar, and it finally loosened up a little bit to get it off. And
That's miserable.
But yeah, they put it back up on. They put one of the old ones on the rim.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was took me less than the head gasket, but was more aggravating than anything
Sure,
I've ever
because
you
done
couldn't
on the
get to
freaking
it.
part.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It was so flipping heavy on the rim. I was like,
You know what?
my
When
God.
Joe had to change the tire in my car when all the shit was in the trunk, that was good.
Oh, I bet that was.
Yeah.
Good. So Jose says it took him almost 2 days to replace a starter.
But he does a lot. He does a lot of shit on a lot of cars, dude.
So
he builds a lot of crap.
When I was in high school, the guys that lived next to us, it was a rental house, but they were always building race cars. They had fast cars. When I tell you fast cars, I'm saying when you got in, they said put on a seatbelt,
and you were
and you're like,
seat. Yeah,
you were like, well, I don't really wear a seatbelt. Put on a seatbelt.
Yeah, I know.
They pop it into third gear and your head
Yeah,
snaps
you
back.
snap back and you're sucked to the seat.
So I watched these guys take an engine out of a car and put a new one in there. And I was thinking, that's a lot of work. I mean, they had the A-frame and everything set up. And they're cranking it in. And they're, no, pull it back out. It took them days to get that engine put in there.
Oh, to get it put in.
To put it in there. Because, it's got to fit into the
has to be perfect.
slot.
Has to be
and
perfect.
It's got to go right into the transmission. And all these things have to
but they loved
perfectly
that
aligned. They loved it.
They loved
They had their fingernails were all filled with,
gunk
all
and
that stuff.
Yeah.
But when they got finished, those old cars that they put new engines in and did stuff with were amazing.
Yeah, sure.
I was just totally blown away with it.
Well, there's a guy by my house now. He's a BMW nut, and there's like 3 or 4 BMWs that he's working on now.
Oh.
He's taking stuff off the one and putting it on the other. And when I go by it, when I get home at like 11:30, he's still with his garage with the A-frame thing.
When the hell do you get out of here at 11:30?
Well, a couple times a week I do.
Yeah,
Last night I did. But anyway, he's still out there working. Him and a couple of his buddies are still out there working on them
11:30
Beamers.
at night?
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Oh,
no.
Oh, God. But he is during when it's warmer.
My father-in-law and my youngest had to work on a car in this type of weather. They had it in his garage, and he had little space heaters going and everything. But they fussed at each other because it was cold. It was cold in the garage, and I don't remember what they were trying to do, but it was. Man,
it wasn't going well.
It was a fuss fest, is what it was. They were bitching at each other the whole time, and it took a couple hours. And I'm sitting there, hands in the pocket, trying to warm up.
Miserable.
It is a painful
what,
thing.
It's time.
It's after 7:30. It's up to you.
7:30. Wow. Look at this. Hey, look. Doc Rodriguez finally shows up. Holy smokes.
Oh, look who there. Your new roommate's on.
Yep.
And the wife. They must have been out together. They're just both popping on right now.
Probably could be.
All right. Well, we ended it?
You know she's renting Patrick's old room in their house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When did that happen?
When Merrilee told him it was happening?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's Sarah, right?
The wife says, "Oh, by the way, Sarah's moving in a couple of weeks." I'm like, "Okay."
That's what you got to say. That's the no choice.
What am I going to say? No.
No.
I mean, then she's down with Big Ball Sack Glenn downtown, snuggled up next to him, trying to keep warm.
From the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Coast Cigar on 2420 Government Street. We're going to bid you good night. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Come watch me on Mondays.
Mondays for minutes.
7 o'clock.
No bones about it.
No bones about it. And pretty soon we're going to have Mav's minutes and
I don't know.
Mort's sessions. Something like that. We'll figure it out. Well, good night, folks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So she's